All right, so I'm at home. This is 10 minutes ago, guys. Knock on the door. My wife answers the door, gentleman at the door, starts to give her the spiel. He's going door to door to sell magazines. Now, this group comes to my neighborhood every single year. Never miss. This started 12 years ago. And they're very friendly and they got a good pitch. And you're either going to like a door-to-door salesman or you're not. Like, it's going to be something personal within you and your own personal experience as to why you stand at the door getting pitched a magazine that, had you wanted, you would have gone and bought anyway. But I'm the right audience for that. When I used to campaign, I had to go door to door. And it's this terrible feeling when somebody slams the door in your face. It can bring you down a little bit. Like, it's one of these things where I'm going to hear you out. And if it's all reasonable, I'm also then going to purchase whatever it is you're selling. And I'm going to tell you, I used to have to do what you did. And best of luck to you and hanging out there. And can I get you water before you go? It's one of those things. I'm the good door to come to. But first experience I had with this specific company was 12 years ago, of which I signed up and bought magazines. Now, I don't read magazines. I think you guys can relate. Magazines are kind of a thing of yesteryear. Unless you're in a waiting room, you're probably not even going to see a magazine. You would get your news or your information online. Okay. So I go buy 4 or 5 magazines trying to help out, and he's got some quota, and he's a good salesman, and he's giving the hard pitch. So I buy however many I have to buy so that he is a success for the day. And the next year, a new group comes in. Same exact company, same exact terrible uniform, same exact pitch. I buy the magazines again. And I do it again and again. And I do this for about 5 years. Before it ever dawns on me, they've never sent me a magazine. 5 years, call it 4 magazines. I bought 20 magazines from the same company. I've never got a magazine, but they do take my money. So I switched it up a number of years ago to, I'm going to hand this human being cash. I'm going to tell him I'm not interested in the magazines, but here you go. Great job with your pitch. Go get them. All right. And that only ties into a personal level that I used to have to go door to door, and it's just very hard. Okay. They're not allowed to take cash. Now, it took me a meaningful amount of time to catch on to that scam. Now, essentially, it goes something like this. Now, you got to understand, 12 years, 12 up, 12 down, 12 conversations, including the one that I had to do today where I'm gathering information. So of all of these 12 years, I'll couple it for you together. They get a group of people that are down on their luck, a lot of times right out of jail, and they will advertise that for you. They put them in a van. They get like a big bus and they drive all around the country. Now, whoever the pimp is that's organizing this whole thing pays for the hotel, pays for their food, and they are not allowed to have any money. You must meet a certain quota, or that dinner you're planning to have tonight and that bed that you're counting on sleeping in tonight, you're out of here. You're out of the group. Now, whether they actually put them in a Greyhound and ship them back somewhere or not, I don't know, but they do invoke fear into these salespeople, and they believe it. So they're not allowed to take cash. And the reason they're not allowed to take cash is if you go meet 7 or 8 Chaels that load you up with money, all of a sudden you get your own bus ticket, you get yourself back home. Otherwise, they've got you right now. You don't have anywhere to go. You don't know anybody. You're down on your luck. This guy's controlling where you eat and what you sleep. It's a very dirty, dirty organization. So I said to the gentleman today, who had done a great job, he really was friendly. He's doing as good of a job as you could do, walking door to door and dealing with strangers, trying to sell them a magazine. I said, friend, here's the thing. I started with you guys because I've lived in the same neighborhood 12 years ago. And I buy magazines every single time, and I part with my credit card information every single time. Not something that anybody wants to do. And in all of those years, I've never received a magazine. I want you to know, because you seem like a decent person, the folks that you're working with, and I call it your pimp. I said, your pimp who won't allow you to have any cash, treating you like a child. And first off, if you do anything in America that's business-wise and they don't allow you to have cash, that should be a huge red flag. That's what we operate on. Everybody wants cash. You take a credit card when the guy doesn't have to. You never in business in this country and you don't take cash, just so you understand. And I tell him this. I said, but secondly, whoever it is that's getting you to go do this and trained you on this pitch, they don't send the magazines. This is a scam. You work for a company that's a scam. I have a feeling the same way as you won't take my money, that if I ask you to exchange phone numbers, you won't give me your phone number either. Your pimp doesn't want us talking. Then he's going to put you in a bus tomorrow and you're going to be in Philadelphia giving the same speech. We're never going to see each other again. And it's paramount that we don't, because you're getting ready to rob me. And the guy goes, all right, you know what? He goes, I'm actually a manager. I'm I actually am the pimp that you're speaking of. We're short a salesman today, and I'm filling it. And you're completely right. There's no magazine. It's like, well, then you have to go. Like, you need to give me an apology, and I sure do appreciate your honesty. Like, it's been 12 years of this hustle. I actually really do appreciate the honesty. But now we're done here. This is where I shut my door, and I don't feel like a jerk, and this is where you go somewhere else. No, he still wanted to talk. He said, look, there's no magazine. You're never going to get a magazine. This company, we don't send magazines out. But we do need these people to go out and get a job. We do need them to make a difference, and it's at least something positive that we do before we put them in the bus that you referenced, and we take them to another town. I'm going, my God, then you've got to go. Don't you understand? Like, you confessing this to me and you admitting to me that this door-to-door magazine sale is a scam. You've got to leave my property. He didn't see it that way. As a matter of fact, he had already finished the water that I had him. He asked me if he could have one more. I went and got him one more water. Don't forget, I've got a $100 bill in my hand. I'm willing to give it to him, and I'm fully explaining to him, I know that you've got to sneak this past your pimp. I don't know if he tips you upside down or he turns your pockets inside out. Get this somewhere to get back to your family because you are out working and you deserve something for that. But to go door to door to people, to get their credit information, to go back and process it, and it's not fraud where, you buy a $38 subscription to Forbes magazine, which is one of the ones that they were selling, and then they go charge you $380. No, they'll charge you what they're supposed to. There's just no magazine that comes. He still wasn't done. Like, he still thought, even though he told me the truth, that I should still buy the magazine to help him meet the quote. I'm going, friend, it's a $38 magazine that you're trying to sell. We've limited it down to Forbes magazine, specifically $38. I'm giving you $100. It isn't the money that's the issue. It's you, a thief, working for a criminal enterprise, wanting to have my credit card information. That's the issue. He's trying to hand me the $100 back and telling me that I can save $62 if I just do it his way. Whole thing was weird. I just thought you guys should hear the story. If you do buy magazines from this scam that's going around door to door, don't be surprised if you don't get them. And if there's ever a time to shut a door in somebody's face, it's probably the criminal standing on the other side of it that isn't allowed to take cash and isn't going to send you your magazines.